Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Castle Nathria Heroic. In this video we will face the second boss, Huntsman Altimor, and before we jump straight into the fight, I wanted to talk about the abilities once again, to know what is happening during the fight. So let's just jump into it and start with Huntsman Altimor himself. So his first ability and most important one is Sin Seeker. He will mark 3 players randomly and then he will fire 3 bolts at them. If you get marked with this thing, if you have the red arrow above your head, make sure you are not stacked with anyone. You just need to go get it out of your group. Make sure no one is in between you and the boss, because it will hit anyone in its path. So just take it out of the group, go somewhere where no one stays. His second ability is Spread Shot. This will be just healed most of the time. It can be dodged, but it's a bit complicated, so healers will just burst through it. Then you have Huntsman Bond, which means that you need to actually fight his Gorgons first. You need to kill his Gorgons and he gets damaged at the same time. So you don't need to focus this guy, you need to focus his Gorgons. Let's talk about his Gorgons. This boss has 3 phases. In each phase he will summon one of his Gorgons. Once one dies, the next one comes and the next one comes and so on. So let's talk about his first Gorgon, is Margor. For this Gorgon you need to keep an eye on this specific ability. Is as a DPS you need to focus on this one. So what he will do, he will target someone. I think it is like a circle around them, a dust circle or something like that, and then he will jump on that target and inflicts a really big chunk of damage right here. So what you need to do, if you have the circle on you, or if any of your raid members have this circle on them, just stack on them so you can spread the damage. Otherwise the target is just dead, just instantly dies. And if are only 2 stacked, they die as well. What changes in heroic difficulty though is that all players struck by vicious lunge are afflicted with vicious wounds as well, which is basically more damage. So this first Gorgon is pretty simple to do, it's nothing too complicated. The second Gorgon that he will spawn is Barghest. This will be a bit of more complicated fight. If everything goes well, then it's pretty easy as well. So what Barghest will do, basically he will spawn shades of Barghest, which needs to be CC'd instantly, polymorph it, hex it, whatever, and just let it sit there, because it gets stacks. It gets those stacks, and the stacks increase the damage by 100%. So basically the shade will get, I think it was 20 stacks, and then it gets killed. So the damage on the shade will be really high, so it dies really fast, because otherwise you get this deadly roar, which damages the whole raid group. You can wipe on it as well. So when the shade spawns, just CC it, leave it there, leave it to sit. Once it's at 20 stacks, probably the raid leader will say go on that shade. That if you are doing it with a guild or with a Discord group or whatever. If you are doing it randomly, then just keep an eye when everyone switches on one shade, just go on that shade as well. One thing to note here is that it will not be only one shade. I think it goes up to 3 shades if the DPS is not really high. So if you get 3 shades, you just CC the first one, then the second one spawns, CC. The first one should have already 20 stacks on it, so you can kill it. Then the third one spawns, gets CC'd, you go for the second one, let the third one get the stacks, kill it, and that's basically the fight with the shades. This can deal a huge damage if it doesn't get CC'd, or if someone breaks the CC, it's really easy to lose the sight of them. If you are playing mage or shaman or whatever has like polymorph, hex, whatever, just keep an eye on them, and if someone breaks the polymorph, just polymorph it again and you should be fine with that one. Then for the healers here, you have the Rip Soul, which basically what Barghest will do is he will rip the soul from a player. You will get a shade like this guy here, like a ghost form, and it will start walking to Barghest, like from the player to Barghest. The healers need to make this one full HP, like they need to heal it really fast before it reaches the Gargon. So basically that's for the fight. You need to keep an eye on shades, you need to kill them when they have the stacks, and you need to keep in mind to not break the CC on them, and you should be fine with this phase as well. For the third Gargon, which is Hekutis, so after Barghest dies, this Gargon will come out. I will not talk about Crushing Stone, which is the tank issue, let's say. So from what I know, this thing gets like stacked on the tank, and the tank needs to move the Gargon really slow, like to drop the stacks or something like that, but I do not want to talk about this one because I never tanked this boss, so I don't want to give any misinformation out there. But I will talk about the second ability here, the Petrifying Howl. So what this basically does, it will target a player randomly. You will get notified when you have it on you, especially if you have Deadly Boss mode. You will have the arrow and everything. So what it says here is that when that effect expires, you will, like petrified player, shatter, inflicting 4000 whatever damage to player within 10 yards, and it will create a patch under you, like a stone patch, and you will take damage inside it and be slowed. So if you get that thing, try to get it out of the raid, just put it somewhere far where no one stays. You will get nuked for it, but as long as that thing stays away from the group is good. So just take it out, then come back in, and if you are getting it again on you, you go out again, and so on. Just make sure you just take them out of the group. You will notice in the video that because of this Petrifying Hole, actually I died. So as spoiler alert here, I was dead for the last phase of the boss, let's say, but we still managed to get it down and everything was fine. I think I was the only one that died during that fight. But that sums up the abilities for this boss. Before we jump into the fight, if you enjoyed this video or if it helps you in any way, please drop a like, a subscribe, and hit that bell icon to see whenever I post new videos. I stream as well on Twitch at badassfk if you want to check it out. And that's it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video and enjoy the fight itself.